Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the end of that little trailer there, it says June 28th. And now you might be using your observation skills and thinking, wait, June 28th? Huh, isn't that today? And you'd be right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Mario Kart Double Dash Olympics. I am so glad this tournament is back. It has been a long over 11 months, I think. And so yeah, I'm very excited to bring it back. I fucking love running this tournament, and I can't wait to bring it all back to you all. But yeah, we always love a little worldly competition. The World Cup is going on right now. There's actually a match right now. So sorry if watching that is preventing you from watching this, or other way around. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you all are here. This is always, again, just such a fun tournament to run. From my perspective, such a fun tournament to watch too. So don't go anywhere. But yeah, we're gonna have a fun time today. I'll just say that. So quick little overview of what we're going over today in our opening ceremony. We got our tournament schedule. That'll be on the next slide. We'll be going over all of the events, all the rules, all the bells and whistles there. We'll be going over our teams and the players on the teams, as well as our reserves. Gotta give a shout out to those guys. And the event submissions begin at the conclusion of this opening ceremony. So basically, so if you start a run right now, it's not going to count. But if you start a run as soon as this opening ceremony ends, then it'll count. So that's all you need to know. But yeah, this is just a quick overview of what we're going to be going over. If you want to know any of these things, stick around. If you don't want to know any of these things, then I guess you can leave. I can't really stop you. But yeah, we're going to be starting it off with our tournament schedule. Obviously, we've established that this tournament begins on June 28th. That is today. And yeah, so for the next 3 weeks, almost, it's really 20 days. So it's like 2.875, not even weeks. We will be playing our major and minor events. We will be going over what the minor events and the major events are in a minute. And then from July 12th through 18th will be our major event week, which again is not a week, it's 6 days. A little confusing, I realize, but regardless, and that will be a brief span where you can only submit to the major events. What are the major events, you might be asking? Don't worry, we're going to get to that very soon. But yeah, and then after that, we have the following Sunday, we're going to have our mid-event report. Now, this is actually coming back this year. We didn't do it last year because it's kind of dumb, because like the first time I did it, it was like, oh, also like the final event announcement. Like, what is the final event going to be? But now we know what the final event's going to be, so it's kind of pointless. But I'm bringing it back this year. Should be fun. I have some ways to make it interesting. It'll help me a lot that the minor events end 6 days early, so I can get those put on there. And then and then also on that mid-event report stream will be the reveal of the time trial one try bracket, which is going to be really good going to our playoffs. Which are, again, is the time trial one try tournament. and that will be running from July 19th onwards, however long that'll take. Not entirely sure. Just kind of depends on how quick people get to playing their matches and whatnot. But yeah, here, so I mean, we're looking at probably at least a month of Double Dash action. So I'd say you don't want to miss it, but I don't even know if you can miss it at this point. All right, and now we are going to go over our events. So just a quick overview of how submitting to an event works. So all runs must be done and submitted within submission period. So if you just set a run, then it doesn't count. Again, we're going to be opening submissions at the end of this stream. Only the maximum number of submissions for an event are allowed. We'll go over what that is for each event. But again, and then, yeah, all submissions do require a video. So that's very important. All submissions require a video. If you do not have video of your submission, it will not count. So just keep that in mind. And then all of the submissions will be done in their respective event channels. So all the participants are obviously in the Discord. And, each event will have a channel. I haven't made them all yet. I don't want to say I've been slacking, but, I've just been, forgetting to. But you shouldn't be doing runs anyway, so it'll be fine. I'll do it after the stream ends. But yeah, all the submissions will be done in the respective event channels as soon as they exist. And the submissions will be accepted or rejected after manager reviews. That's me. I'm the manager. But yeah, basically, submit your time in the channel, and then I will approve it, or maybe not approve it if you mess up. But yeah, quick overview of our scoring. So first place in an event, you will get 15 points. Second is 12. Third is 9. Fourth is 7. Fifth is 5. Sixth is 3. Seventh is 2. Eighth is 1. If you get ninth or lower, you are not finishing with any points for the event. And these point values are actually doubled for the major events. Again, we'll go over what those are, and tripled for our final event, which again, time trial one try tournament. So if you win the time trial one try tournament, you can get 45 points, which is quite the haul. It doesn't necessarily guarantee you win the whole thing, but it's you can't really do bad if you win the time trial one try tournament. I'll just say that. All right, now we're gonna look at our minor events first. Again, you're only gonna get 2 weeks to play these, but you also only get 2 submissions for these, so it kind of works out. Yeah, we have 9 minor. No, we don't. We have 8. Fuck. Oh my god, guys. We have 8 minor events in this year's Olympics. We have single cup runs, no drift, no A button, all pipes, backwards, character bash, and alternate paths. What are those? You're going to find out soon. And again, we are going to be doing a maximum of 2 submissions for each of these events. So you can only submit twice, and only 2 submissions. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And again, regular point values that we saw on the slide a couple seconds ago. All right, first minor event, we got single cups runs, and this is undergoing a major change this year, because before, it was you had to do a run on Mushroom Cup and Flower Cup and Star Cup and Special Cup, and that's a lot, right? And listen, there are some GP enjoyers out there. I respect y'all, but there are also a lot of GP haters, and I was looking at the feedback form from last year, and this was by far the least favorite event, and I'm like, all right, how can I make this better? So we're gonna spice it up a little this year. One of the cups is going to be 150cc. And then you're going to do another cup that's on mirror. Now, you might be wondering, what cup is it? What cup is it going to be? You see, I don't actually know. We're going to find out together. You might see here on the screen, we got a little wheel, right? Mushroom Cup, Star Cup, Flower Cup, Special Cup. That's not the order they're in. We got a little wheel, and we're going to spin it. All right, so first, we're going to spin this cup. I spin right now is going to be the 150cc cup. All right, and it is going to be the Star Cup, it seems. Yeah, Star Cup 150cc. So we're going to be doing Star Cup, but that's not even the crazy part, right? We're going to be doing another cup, but this cup, it's going to be on mirror mode. So will it be the Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, or Special Cup? Let's find out. All right, it's looking like it's going to be the Mushroom Cup. So again, we're going to be doing Star Cup on 150cc, and Mushroom Cup on mirror mode. Okay, that was a lot. But yeah, you'll get 2 submissions for each of those cups. And ranking will be decided by the fastest in-game time by each player. And shortcuts and glitches are actually permitted for these categories, so going to be really interesting to see, how players approach that. And these are the only events where 50 hertz is disallowed. It's not allowed on the speedrun.com leaderboard, so we're just kind of trying to keep things consistent. But yeah. So yeah, that is single cups runs. What? I can't talk, guys. But yeah, that is single cup runs. Nothing too crazy going on there. Well, besides, the obvious, but got that settled now. So next event, it's a new one. We got No Drift. Very simple event, actually. You're going to be doing 1 lap of a Dry Desert, Waluigi Stadium, Sherbet Land, and DK Mountain. And you're going to be doing them in any order you want, which, should be nice. And your ranking for this event is going to be determined by your sum of best track splits. So if you do 2 submissions, your first submission has better Dry and Waluigi, and your second submission has better Sherbet Land and DKM, then the first 2 tracks from your first submission and the last 2 tracks from your second submission will count. Just as an example. And yeah, you can use any button for this except L and R. So gonna be really interesting to see, because this is, normally Double Dash, it's all about like, oh yeah, tech, like do fast mini turbo, space well, whatever. This is gonna be a really interesting event to see because this is all about lines. So we could see some shocking results in this event for sure. So definitely gonna be interesting to see, how good the top players play without the crutch they have with the tech and vice versa. But yeah, pretty simple event. You might be wondering what these is, like kind of a random assortment of tracks. Yeah, I'm trying to like make the minor events like more, like I'm trying to make it so that in the minor events you play like about each track like about the same amount of times. Because like I was looking through and there are like 4 events where you play Luigi Circuit and like 3 events where you play like Baby Park, I think, or something like that. And I'm like, guys, this is dumb. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do with these tracks. Again, they're a little weird, but they do kind of make sense. Listen, guys, running a tournament isn't easy. I know I sound like I'm like just saying shit, but like trust me, this shit is not easy to come up with. Yeah, that is No Drift, and in a similar vein, we have No A button, and this is a very similar concept. Just instead of not using L or R, you just can't use A. You can reverse through a track if you want. B is allowed to be used, but you cannot use A. And yeah, again, similar to last event, this is going to be the sum of your best track splits. And you're going to be doing the first lap of Luigi Circuit, Peach Beach, Baby Park, and Mushroom Bridge in any order. Again, any order is fine. And it will be the sum of best track splits across your 2 submissions, or your 1 submission if you only do 1 submission. But yeah. All right, and our next event, all pipes. This is a crazy one. It is a speedrun.com category. I don't know if people knew that. It's on category extensions under like the miscellaneous, but it is a speedrun.com category, so it does have reason to be here. But basically the challenge is you will complete Peach Beach and Mushroom Bridge while going through the pipes on all 3 laps, and then you go to Pipe Plaza and you enter every pipe. So little crazy for sure. But yeah, this was actually pretty simple because it's the fastest RTA time by each player, so there's no fancy like best splits or anything. It's just get the fastest run you can and work from there. All right, our other new event this year is the backwards, yeah. And again, similar. Again, we're doing sort of the same thing again here. Some best track splits. We got another little crazy selection of tracks. We got Mario Circuit, Waluigi Stadium, Yoshi Circuit, and Dino Jungle. And yeah, this is gonna be a really interesting event again. Because for this event, instead of just driving the track normally, you're gonna turn around at the start and drive a complete lap backwards. So that's going to be really interesting to watch because, normally, speedrunners, they don't drive the track backwards. So there's no like really developed like backwards strats or anything. So it's just going to be super interesting, I feel, like watching, how both, the runners towards the top and bottom, like decide how to take these tracks and how to optimally drive them. So again, I think this is going to be a really interesting event, and I'm really glad it is in this year's Olympics. Now, oh, never mind, not now. Well, all right. Next up is our character bash. This one is coming back from next year, but with a slight change. Once again, some best track splits, and you'll be doing, a lot of like tracks in this game are themed around characters, and you're gonna be playing the characters on the tracks. Like on Luigi Circuit, you're going to be using Luigi, Baby Luigi, and the Green Fire, which is Luigi's cart. And similar story on Baby Park, you're going to be using the babies, and either in one of the baby carriage carts, either the Goo Goo or the Rattle Buggy. On Mario Circuit, Mario, Baby Mario, Red Fire. Now this is our change this year. We got a new track coming in. It used to be DK Mountain, and everyone hated that, myself included. So we're changing it up. It's going to be Daisy Cruiser now. We will be playing on Daisy, Peach, and the Balloon Coach. And then still the same from last year is Bowser's Castle, where you'll be playing Bowser Jr., and the Koopa King. All right. And next up, we have alternate paths, and this event always trips people up because it is a little complicated, and if you don't know what you're doing, it's not the most straightforward. But you guys are actually in luck because I actually hired like a really famous celebrity to like explain the rules of this event. So yeah, you're just gonna listen to them and see what they have to say. Hello everyone, this is Flanders, bringing you a quick little event explainer for the Alternate Paths event in this year's Olympics. Those of you who are familiar with the Olympics are, fairly familiar with this event. It's been in the last 2 editions, seems to be a fairly popular event, but we're just making a new event explainer because, one, there's a major change to the rule set this year compared to the previous 2 years. And also, I have a new mic now, so it should just be a higher quality explanation. But yeah, let's go into how this event is going to work real quick. So there will be a maximum of 2 submissions allowed, and the timing will be decided by the sum of the best track splits from each competitor's submissions. More on that in just a second. But this event will involve you completing 1 lap of 5 tracks in any order, but consecutively. These tracks will be Luigi Circuit, Peach Beach, Mushroom Bridge, Daisy Cruiser, and Mushroom City. And on each of these tracks, you are going to be taking either lesser used or just suboptimal paths on each of these tracks. Again, more on each track's paths later. But yeah, so your ranking for this event will be decided by the sum of your best track splits. So let's say if you do 2 submissions, your first submission has a faster LC, PB, and MB, and your second submission has a faster DC and Muck. Then the Luigi Circuit, Peach Beach, Mushroom Bridge from your first submission will count towards your final ranking, and the Daisy Cruiser and Mushroom City from your second submission will count towards your final ranking. And again, for this event, you can do the tracks in any order you choose. I'm just going to go in chronological order for the sake of this little explainer. But yeah, so that would mean the first track we're going to go over is Luigi Circuit. So right at the start of Luigi Circuit, you are actually not going to be allowed to enter this chomp lane. You cannot enter at any point. So at the beginning, at the end, in the middle, you cannot enter this chomp lane. If you are in the chomp lane at all, then the run does not count. And then after you get past the chomp lane, you're going to go on these boost panels up here on the side. You want to make sure you hit every single boost panel. And then you're not going to be doing too much until towards the end of the track, where, again, there's going to be there's going to be 2 paths you can take, and you're going to be taking this one to the right, also known as the emo lane sometimes. Yeah, and then after you take that path, you're going to hit all the boost panels on the ending turn again, and then you just cross the finish line, and that is Luigi Circuit. Alright, and then next up is Peach Beach. And right at the beginning of Peach Beach, you're going to want to enter this pipe to the left of, the normal driving route. And once you land from the pipe, you want to start heading towards the very left side of the beach straightaway so that you can go off this ramp to the side here. After you go off the ramp, you're going to get to the pink rock, and you want to go all the way around the pink rock. You cannot go under the pink rock at any point. You have to go all the way around the pink rock. And then just at the end of the track, you have to go to the left of this fountain. You don't have to make a full circle around it. You just have to go to the left of the fountain. And then, yeah, that's Peach Beach. Now for Mushroom Bridge, and this is where our one change this year lies. There's no change at the start of the race. You're still going to go into this pipe at the beginning. But what has changed is not too far after that. In previous years, you were able to take the grass strat here, go on this little hill, but that is not allowed anymore. You now have to go through both of these alleys on the left side. Again, you have to go through both alleys. You can't just take one and then dip out. You have to go through both. So yeah, the grass strat option is no longer there. And then the rest of the course is the same as last year. You just get to the end, and then you want to go on one of the railings on the bridge. Could be the left or the right, doesn't really matter. And you don't have to travel the length of the entire railing. You just have to make sure that you hit all of the boost panels. There are some very rare cases where you can just bounce over boost panel, and stuff like that will usually be allowed. If you aren't sure, just feel free to double check with me. But yeah, generally you want to at least like make it seem like you're trying to hit all the boost panels. And then yeah, you just finish the course. And then now for our probably the simplest track is Daisy Cruiser. So right at the beginning, you are not allowed to take the pool skip. You have to go to the left side of the pool, and that's almost it for this track until you get close to the end. You do have to fall into the basement here, take the little cannon or whatever to get out. But then yeah, from there you just complete the track normally. So pretty simple here on Daisy Cruiser. And final track of this event is Mushroom City, and this is now the only track where you actually have multiple choices of like what to do, and that choice is made right at the beginning of the track almost. So this whole little network of paths here, you have two options. The first is you can go all the way to the end of this first straightaway, and then turn right, go all the way to the end of that straightaway, and then turn left and continue as normal. Or you can just go in and take the little pink path here, and then from there you're free to do whatever you choose. So yeah, I mean, again, either option is acceptable. You just have to do one or the other, and then that's it until the end of the track. And you have to go in the mud here on the right side at the end of the track. But yeah, that is just all it is on Mushroom City. You just finish the course from there. And that is it for the alternate paths event. Again, you can do the tracks in any order you choose, and you are free to do up to 2 submissions for this event. So yeah, if you have any questions, or if you don't think anything was explained well enough here, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always again open to answer questions about the events. But yeah, I hope this clears up the event a little more for you guys, and I hope you have fun competing. Wow, whoever that was must be like really like smart and intelligent, because like how did you even like explain all that in like such a profound and like meaningful way? um yeah, so that was alternate paths. Again, it's all in the video. I linked the video in like the alternate paths channel in the Discord, so if you need to watch it again, you can go do that. But yeah, and seems like a complicated event, but it's not as hard as it sounds. It's just when you spend 6 minutes explaining it, it sounds difficult. And now we are heading into our major events. So these are, our longer events. You got to really grind out these ones. And yeah, we have 4 major events. And you get a maximum of 3 submissions of all these events except for one. We'll be going over that in a second. And again, these events are 2 times the regular point values. So a first place in a major event is worth twice as much as first place in a minor event. So really worth it to try to really focus on maxing out these events. Yeah. So first event, All Cup Tour. This is probably just the simplest one we're gonna have. Is the fastest in-game time by each player. Again, you can do any shortcuts or glitches you want. But if there's something that you want to do on 50 hertz, that unfortunately is not allowed. But yeah, it's just an All Cup Tour run. There's no real fluff to it. You just play All Cup Tour and you get the fastest time you can on 60 hertz. All right, next up is Last Carter Standing, and this one you might notice. Hey, you only get 1 submission on this one. Yeah, this is a really fun event. I really like this event. It's a little crazy. And because you don't even know the events or the results until after anything. So you just kind of have to hope and pray. And yeah, so this year you won't even know the results of this event until the mid-event report. So that's gonna be exciting. But yeah, all the submissions for this one are gonna be done via DM. So you just have to DM me. A link to the video of your run. And yeah, you're gonna be doing consecutive one tries in a randomized track order. So again, unfortunately we do only have 12 players actually like in the tournament this year, so we're not doing a full 15 tracks, but we still got 11 tracks that are randomly selected. And yeah, the way this is gonna work is basically all the times on one track are going to get stacked up. Whichever one was the slowest is out, and that process is going to repeat until there's only one player left. And this is the important part of this event. There will be a 4-point deduction to both your individual and your team score if you do not participate in this event. So, because this event is just objectively a lot better when everyone participates. So, if you don't participate, then you're going to lose points. Your team's going to lose points. All your teammates are going to hate you. You're going to get blackballed from the Mario Kart Double Dash community. You're going to get fired from your job. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your car. And you're going to live a very lonely and sad life. Okay, I don't think most of that is true. But the part about losing points for you and your team is very much true. So you want to make sure that you are submitting in this event. And it is the shortest of all the major events, if that's any motivation. But yeah, again, just make sure you do a run of this event. It doesn't have to be. Well, I mean, ideally you do a good run, but if your run sucks, just submit it, bro. Like it's worth it. Trust me. And here is going to be the track order for this year's Last Carter Stand. Again, we only got 12 players. It's not a full 15 tracks, but we still got 11 tracks. We're going to be starting off with the big guns, DK Mountain. That's going to be a really interesting first track. Then followed, we're more driving focused. We got Luigi Circuit, Mushroom City, Sherbetland, and Mushroom Bridge. Gets a little crazy for a bit with Down Down Jungle and Daisy Cruiser. Then, back to normality for a second with Peach Beach. And then crazy stretch to finish it off. Wario Coliseum, Dry Dry Desert, and Baby Park. This is going to be a fun one to watch for sure. You won't want to miss it. But yeah. Next up is all tracks. This is going to be this is again another speedrun.com category. This is on the main leaderboards, so this is real. It is again a miscellaneous category, but it is a real category, guys. And yeah, for this one, it's gonna be the fastest in-game time by each player. And again, this is gonna be an all-track speedrun under the speedrun.com rules. And for this one, you're gonna be doing 16 consecutive one tries in order on all the tracks. So you're gonna start with Luigi Circuit, Peach Beach, Baby Park, Dry Desert, Mushroom Bridge, and you're gonna all the way down until Rainbow Road. And yeah, it's pretty simple, and no shortcuts are allowed for this event. So just pure over the road racing. And last but not least, I don't know, this is actually my personal favorite event of the Olympics. It sucks a lot to update, but it is my favorite event, so I guess I'll let it slide. And you're going to be doing consecutive one tries on all 16 tracks. You can do the one tries in any order on like all tracks. But yeah, and then the fastest lap times from each player will be taken. Again, you get 3 submissions, so you can mix and match them however you want across all 16 tracks. So just take that as you will. And then the laps will be ranked for every track. I meant to change this. And since we only have 12 players this year, the first place will get 12 points. The second place will get 11 points. Third place will get 10 points, all the way down to 12th place getting 1 point. And basically, whoever has the most points wins. Somewhat simple. So yeah, that is going to do it for our major events. And then our final event, as always, is going to be the time trial one try tournament. There's still not 16 people in this. I don't know why I didn't change any of that. But there is going to be a single elimination tournament. And one thing it doesn't say on here that I do want to point out is that if you finish first through fourth, maybe later, depending on how many, if people actually qualify, but if you finish first through fourth, you are guaranteed a bye to the quarterfinals, since there's only 12 players, and that means you automatically get some amount of points. So there's going to be a real incentive to push for the top four spots and secure those automatic points. Run into one less opponent. So that's going to be really interesting to watch. And yeah, there will. So, but yeah, once from there, it is a single elimination bracket. And again, seeding will be decided by the points earned from the major and minor events. So you really have no reason not to try in all those events. And the third place match will be taking place between the losers of the semifinals. And then the finals will be the winners of the semifinals, and winner takes gold, loser takes silver. And yeah, one thing I vaguely alluded to it, but I'll say it out loud here. You must participate in in at least a third of the major and minor events to participate. So this year we have 12 events. 1/3 of 12 is 4. You have to participate in at least 4 events to be in the time trial 1-try tournament. Again, 4 events. That's not that hard, guys. You have nearly 3 weeks to play 4 events. I don't want to see anyone complaining about that, at all, because that's literally not difficult. If you didn't want to do that, you shouldn't have signed up for the tournament. Anyways, but yeah, you must participate in at least 4 events to participate in the time trial 1-try tournament. Yeah, they don't even have to be good participation. They just have to be participation. So there's really no excuse to not be qualifying for this. But yeah, again, as stated, points will be 3 times the traditional values. So first place in this is 45 points. That's a lot of points. Just saying. And yeah, our 5th through 8th place tiebreaker will be decided by total race record. So if you lose, or if you win round 1 7-0, and then you lose round 2 7-7, then 0-7, then your total race record is 7-7. So that's 0.5, and then yeah. And yeah, and all matches for the time trial 1-try tournament must be recorded or live streamed by both players. You don't necessarily have to live stream. It is nice, but you don't necessarily have to. But you have to, at the very least, record. All the other events require you to record your submissions, so it only makes sense that the most important event would also require that. And because if you don't record, you're gonna just get disqualified from your match. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Because you wasted the other person's time, and you gotta go. I'll just say that you gotta go. But yeah. So again, this is a sort of across the bridge when we get to it. This is not for another 3 weeks. So, but just keep it on the back of your mind. There's very much something to be playing for in these major and minor events. Oh, and there's still more. Okay, so again, time trial 1-try tournament. Each match will be first 7 races wins, which is best of 13. Both players will ban 1 track before the match, and the higher seed will ban first. So if it's 1 versus 2, then the 1 seed will ban first, and then the lower seed will pick the first played track. So again, in that example, the 2 seed would pick the first played track, and then the loser of the previous track will pick the next track afterwards until match finishes. Players will press restart on the track's pause menu simultaneously to start each race. Just so it's synced up, and the manager will be given the player POVs and match score upon the conclusion of the match, so I can update it. So yeah, all right, time for the big ones. We have 5 teams, 12 players in this year's Olympics, and we're gonna get right into them. Starting off with our defending champions, Team Canada. Oh boy, here we go. Starting off with this guy, Truffleton, bro. 8th place in the world currently, although that's probably going to change very soon. Well, just look at this guy, bro. Rank 8, best track D came out, and he's 2nd place, maybe 1st place, depending on who you ask, on both of the times there. And again, his worst track is Luigi Circuit, but he's still very good at his worst track. It's just not as good as the rest of his tracks, And yeah, this guy, he's the Canadian MKDD champ. He's an overall god. He has all 32 of the gods. What does this guy need to do? You know what this guy needs to do? He needs to win the MKD Olympics. And that's something he's done before. He won last year. He wasn't even as good as he is now last year, and he won. So yeah, that's kind of scary for everyone else playing. But yeah, you see the stats here. Last year, won the Olympics, got 11 medals, which was the most of any player, including 7 golds, and was part of the Team Canada championship run. So really, really nothing this guy can't do. And in the Winter Olympics, this year he got second place, winning 2 events. And you know, now you might be wondering. Oh, he got second place, dude. Who was beating him? Who was beating him? His own teammate. What is going on, dude? Oh my god! Look. Okay, you look at Pittman. You know, you might think, oh, he's not as good as Truffle, right? And he's still definitely a good player. You know, rank 58 overall Myth B. But like, he's not as good as Truffle. But dude, this guy always shows up for the Olympics. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just has the competitive spirit in him. I don't know if he's just lucky. But whenever the Olympics are going on, this guy is going to pop off. All right. 2024, he got 6th place overall, including a bronze medal in one of the events, no A button, and was part of, you know, Canada's team championship. And then last year, he improved to 5th place and also, again, contributed significantly to Canada's team championship. And then in the Winter Olympics, this guy just won it. And he won 2 of the events. This guy's insane. I don't know how anyone's going to beat this Canada team. I think it's possible. I think things could not go their way, but bro, this is going to be a hard team to beat for sure. Can Canada get the 3-peat? That's going to be one of the major storylines of this tournament. You know, if I were a betting man, I would bet on Canada winning. That's all I'm going to say. But the other 4 teams definitely have a chance too. We'll get to them in a second. I need to take a drink of water. But yeah, Team Canada, very good team. If this is on Kalshi, you might want to bet on them. Please don't bet on the MKD Olympics, bro. You're gonna lose all your money. All right, next up we got Team France coming up out of France. Starting us off is Super JoJo. Place free drink 160. Best track is DK Mountain. Worst track is Mushroom City. Overall Titan C, very solid player. And yeah, definitely, you know, was in the Olympics last year, finished 12th, which, I mean, again, keep in mind last year was 16 players. And, you know, they performed, and he actually performed pretty well considering where he was ranked and what the competition was. So really nothing to worry about from him. And he put a lot of time in towards the tournament too. So, I mean, this is definitely someone I would want captaining my team. Someone who's going to show up, who's going to play every event. He's going to try hard on all of them. But so yeah, so that's a pretty good get for Team France. Now the other member of Team France is a player I actually didn't know too much about until really a couple weeks ago, maybe. Lidl, I believe it's pronounced. But he has been climbing up the players page. Just a few weeks ago, he was not even top 50, and now he's at rank 175. And again, by the time this tournament is all said and done, it's probably gonna be even higher. So yeah, his best track is Sherbetland. His worst track Baby Park, and his overall Titan D. And again, this guy, again, I didn't know too much about him. I was kind of surprised he signed up, admittedly, because I hadn't ever heard anything from him. But he's actually a very solid player, a very strong player. You know, been rising up the ranks recently, and he can definitely pull off some stuff in some of these events if he plays at that potential. So, gonna be really exciting to see him and how he performs in this tournament. Next up is Team USA. Now, again, we always run into this dilemma every year. The USA always has way more people than any other country sign up, and it's kind of a problem because, you know, you can't. We have 5 American players in this year's edition. You can't do 5. You can't do a 5-person team. That just wouldn't be fair at all. So, as always, we're going to be dividing the teams. We are going to have 2 teams for the USA, starting with USA East. Oh. And starting USA East is Tristan. Oh my goodness, this guy is insane. What? Players Page rank 2? 8 world records? What? Yeah. This guy is really good at Mario Kart Double Dash. Best track is Mario Circuit. He has both the world records there. There's actually multiple tracks where he has both the world records, but that was just the first one that showed up. And I think that's his favorite track as well, so I don't mind putting it up there. Worst track is Waluigi Stadium, but he's still like ranked like 7 there. So like, is that even bad? I'll let you decide. But yeah. So again, this guy, American champion of Mario Kart Double Dash, overall god, 32 out of 32 gods. Like, literally, what is stopping this guy? That's what you might be saying. But there's one thing stopping Tristan from succeeding at this tournament. Himself. You look at the history in the Olympics, and 2024, he only got 8th place, which, was kind of underwhelming given, what his rank was at the time, which, again, still not as high as it is now. But 8th place, given what he had, was a little rough. But he did win the Time Trial One Try tournament at the end of the season, so he definitely had some, show that he actually can compete if he wants to. And then last year again was in the Olympics and got a gold medal in one of the events, but still only finished 11th place. Like, he's finishing better on the players' page than he is in the Mario Kart Double Dash tournament. This is like preposterous. But he is a very good player. He is a very strong player. Again, literally how good he does is entirely up to how much he actually cares. If he just like tries in like half of the events, he's gonna win at least the individual title. But there is no guarantee that happens. No. There's no guarantee that happens. So I guess we'll see. Next up is Jimbo, one of 2 players who has been in the Olympics all 3 years now. The other was Pittman, who we saw earlier. But yeah, this guy's just always been around. Got 11th at the first edition in 2024, and then 7th at last year's. So that's improvement. You look at the graph, that's going up, right? If this pace continues, he's going to get 3rd this year. Will he actually? I don't know, but he's a very solid player. Players page rank 116, overall Titan A. Just again, a very good player. Who very familiar with this tournament. Always shows up, shows out. So definitely a good get for USA East here. And yeah, gonna be nice seeing him play. He's definitely gonna finish in the points in at least a few events. And yeah, definitely a good wingman for Tristan and Team USA. And last but not least for Team USA East is Rayquaza Kingdom, another player who played last year, not 2 years ago. I realize it says 2024. I don't know how I made so many typos in this. But yeah, players page rank is 227, overall hero B. He's not bad at this game at all. Like, let's just get that clear, right? And when your best track, Rainbow Road, that's a longer track. So in an event like all tracks, or where it's like some of your total time, that's going to be really helpful to be good at that track, because you're going to gain a lot of time on the people who aren't as good as you on that track. So definitely brings some talent to Team USA East. Definitely a solid player. It's gonna be really fun to watch him in the tournament as well. Again, was in the tournament last year, so he's fairly familiar with how things run around here. So yeah, it's gonna be a good player for Team USA East for sure. And now our other USA team, USA West. You might notice we're using kind of crude definitions of USA East and West. I stressed so much over the last few days about how I was going to divide these depending on who signed up. I played out like 6 different scenarios in my head. It was kind of a bad moment for me, but we figured it out. And yeah, USA West is going to be captained by just some glue, not like a lot of glue, just some glue. But he's gonna help this team stick together. Really, you're not gonna be able to separate this team when glue's it is. Fuck, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really trying. Players page rank 22, and he is overall god, a very strong player, especially on tracks like Waluigi Stadium. He's a very highly ranked times there. His worst track is Peach Beach, so still some room to improve, but he's a very good player. Rank 22. I mean, yeah, definitely someone you'd want on your team, especially given his history in the Olympics. 2024, he finished 4th place, got a bronze medal in one of the events, and last year he finished 3rd place and got 9 medals. So, I mean, that's like, think about it. He got 1 medal in 2024 and 9 medals last year. If you continue at that rate, you're either going to get 17 medals or 81 medals. That's not possible. But like, imagine if it was. Like, imagine like how close you can get to that, and like, imagine that as Glue's potential for this tournament. He's got a chance to definitely make some waves. Again, finished top 4 in both the last 2 editions, and I think he is a lot better now than he was in either of those last 2 editions. So definitely going to be a really good player. Definitely going to score some good points in a lot of the events, and definitely someone that his teammate Jay Ravioli wants on the team. This guy, Jay Ravioli, really, I didn't even realize this guy joined the players page in like 2021, I think. Like, he has been around for so long, just like bubbling under. And then this year, he just absolutely locked in. Like, he went from like 300 to where he is now in like 2 or 3 months. It was insane to watch. So, rapidly improving player. Really gonna be, I'm glad he is gonna be participating for Team USA West, because again, he's a pretty good player, rank 109 overall Titan A. Gonna be a really solid player again, especially if he keeps improving, especially if he keeps doing well on tracks like Sherbetland. That is his best track. He's top 100 on both of his times there, so pretty good at that one. Yeah, just again, overall really good player. And yeah, someone USA West is definitely happy to have on their team. And I think, a player like him might just be what takes USA West from like a good team to an actual contender, Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right. And now for our last team, last but not least. Now, every year, you sometimes get just like a player from like a country, that isn't like represented that much, right? We had 3 players this year that were the only players to sign up from their country. And okay, I'm not going to have them be on a team by themselves. That's not fair, right? So, introducing Team World. Now, yes, every country is part of the world. I'm not trying to make a political statement here. This is just the team for players that don't really have a team, but like, I still want them to play. So we're just gonna kind of mash them together in this beautiful harmony we call Team World. And leading off Team World is going to be Flakes, rank 41. His best track is Rainbow Road. It seems to be a popular pick. His worst track is Sherbetland. Looks like climate change has really taken a number on it. But yeah, this guy, coming up straight up out of Norway. He is the Norwegian MKDD champ. Overall Myth Plus. He's a really good player, guys. I don't have it on here, but he was actually in the Olympics in 2024, and he finished 9th there. So pretty solid showing, and he has actually improved a lot since that tournament. So I'm excited to see how he does here. I feel like he's gonna get better than 9th. I feel like he is probably going to get points in most of the events. Maybe he's even going to get a couple medals here and there. Definitely going to be a fun player to watch in this year's edition. But so is MF. This guy, ranked 72. Overall Myth C, was in the Olympics last year and finished 8th place. So again, pretty solid performance. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he has in store. If you know him from anywhere, you probably know him from 64. I believe he's 6th in MK64 now, which is insane. But he's still very good at Double Dash, obviously. He's not a one-game wonder. Let's just say that. Rank 72 overall Myth C again. Best track is Mushroom Bridge. A more driving-based track. He definitely has a lot of skill in this game. And skill that is probably going to take him and his team decently far in this tournament. So gonna be fun to watch him, for sure, for Team World. And now, last but not least for Team World, dude, this shit had me so hyped, bro. We got MKDD ESA representing El Salvador. All right, this was fucking crazy, because like, A lot of people don't even know where El Salvador is on a map. I do because I'm a fucking geek, but a lot of people don't, right? Like, so that's already pretty crazy enough. And then this guy, he's literally the only player on the Mario Kart Double Dash leaderboards from El Salvador. So that's already crazy enough, right? Like, there's only one, and we somehow got him for this tournament. Pretty crazy. And he's actually been improving a lot too. He's up to rank 195 on this players page. So pretty solid player. Best trick is Rainbow Road. That seems to be a very popular pick. I don't hate it. Rorschach is Dino Jungle. That also seems to be kind of popular, which again, I can't disagree with. And yeah, again, he is the Salvadoran MKD champ. I had to look up what a person from El Salvador was like called. The demonym. I think that's what it's called. I had to look up what that was because I didn't fucking know. I've literally never met someone from El Salvador before. So this is going to be really exciting for me and for the tournament as a whole. Again, that's part of the beauty of this tournament. You bring the whole world together into one beautiful Mario Kart Double Dash tournament. And this is just the prime example of that. And yeah, we're bringing in, an overall Hero A player just inside the top 200. Really solid player who is definitely going to put on for Team World. I think he could definitely contend in many of the events. So I'm excited to see him in this tournament. Now, before we go, I do want to give a shout to our reserves. Unfortunately, the numbers didn't quite work out this year. I really want to do a 16-person tournament again, but we just didn't get 16 people, so that, kind of ruined that. So we did have a couple, odd ones out. And I did want to give them a shout out because, there might be a situation where, a player drops out from the tournament, right? And, when that happens, shit could get bad. But good news is, if a player does drop out, the highest ranked of these reserves you're going to see on the next slide will be called up to take their place. And the reserves will actually inherit all the points and submissions from their replaced player. So it'll actually be, so I recommend reading the rules document because it gets kind of complicated with the specifications for this. But generally speaking, the reserves will actually, be able to come in for whatever team they're representing, and help the team. So shouts to the reserves, because they might not be playing, but they're here. They're here in spirit. They're rooting for us. And if we do need them to play, then they are ready to go, right? So you do have 3 reserves again this year. We got Machaluma from France, Dr. DK Bonanza from the US, and Thirsty Eyes from Canada. Thank you guys for signing up for the tournament. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm really sorry you guys just couldn't get in. Again, really would have liked the numbers to work out, but fortunately did not just quite work that way. But again, really appreciate you guys being here, sticking around. I think the tournament is better. You always gotta have a backup plan, and you guys are the backup plan. So thank you. All right. And with that being said, event submissions are now open. Yeah, you can read the screen. As a reminder, here is just how the submissions work. Again, I still have to make the event channels for most of the events, but yeah, that is how event submissions work. Again, there's more details on the rules document in the Discord, and if you have any questions, you can always ask me. But yeah, that is going to be it for our opening ceremony. My voice is almost gone. I don't know how I'm still talking normally. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, I think this tournament is going to be great. Again, didn't quite get the numbers we wanted, but I still think we're in position to have a really good, really exciting, really fun tournament. And I'm excited to see how everyone does. So yeah, again, that's going to be it from me for the opening ceremony. The next Olympics related stream on this channel is going to be the mid-event report. Again, that's going to be July 19th. So don't miss that. And yeah, see you guys there. I'll also be streaming time trials now and then between there, if you even care. I think I might actually stream time trials tonight. But regardless, event submissions are now open. Enjoy the Mario Kart Double Dash Olympics, everyone. Peace.